most fundamental principle of justice, one that has been widely accepted since it was first defined by Aristotle more than 2,000 years ago, is the principle of equality. But what is equality, and how do we get there? The answer to that question depends on who you ask. Here, I'll present you two models of equality, and I'll let you decide. Okay, you and I are going to solve inequality today. We're going to do it right now. Tomorrow, I want you to load all of your stuff up, have your friends do the same. I'll do mine. We'll meet downtown. I'll be waiting there with all of my stuff. We'll throw everything in a pile, your clothes, your car, your Beats headphones, your Nintendo or your PlayStation, even the deed to your home if you have one. We'll divide everything up and make sure that everyone there gets an equal share. So let's do this. We are solving something that no one else has ever been able to solve before, ever. Let's go. Wait, what? I'm crazy? You're not going to bring me your Louis Vuitton bag? Okay. Oh, I get it. I understand. Okay, let's just start small. Everyone in this class will receive a C for the semester. Now, you're all expected to put in the exact same amount of work you normally do, but no matter your efforts, you're going to get a C. It's only fair. Some people are going to put in more work, other people are going to put in less work, some people are smarter than others. So let's just call it a day and give everybody a C. Really? Still no takers? What I'm describing is really this equality of outcomes argument. See, equality of outcomes says that individuals should not be allowed to benefit from their superior talent or ability. That really any kind of superior talent or ability is actually derived from fortunate family, maybe genetics, and social circumstances for which the individual themselves can't take any credit. Natural talents and abilities don't really belong to us. They belong to society. Not really the person who's lucky enough to have them. It really is the property of society. So, as such, this principle of social justice asserts that the fruits of one's talents and abilities must be shared equally. Now, equality of outcomes argument separates distributive justice from the notions of desert. Inequality in society is acceptable, but only if it's to advantage the worst off individuals in society. So when you meet me downtown and you bring me all of your stuff, those of us who came with less will leave with more. Those of us who came with more, well, we'll probably leave with less. John Rawls referred to this as the difference principle. That the most just distribution of wealth is one that maximizes the wealth of the lowest income group. Now, I know this is horrible in the sense that your brain is going, no, no, no. And part of that is because we live in a society, we're in this American society where the American dream is just really ingrained in us, and even thinking about this stuff really just makes our brains go fuzzy. But essentially, this is the argument behind equality of outcomes. That really any ability that we have or any kind of fortunate circumstance that we have, that it doesn't really belong to us, that it really is owned by society, and therefore the fruits of that talent or ability needs to be equally distributed. Okay, let's talk about the flip side of the argument. Equality of opportunity. Now, again, we're going to talk about this in its ideological sense and not necessarily the reality of what we see and live every day. Americans will probably be more familiar with this, more comfortable with this because, again, it's what's in our culture. Well, first, let's start with your unique talent or ability. guess what? It's not social property. It indeed belongs to you. Well, equality of opportunity says that unequal outcomes are fair if the process is fair. That income inequality is really the natural outcome of free individuals in a spontaneous and competitive system. In fact, any attempt to interfere with the outcome or the competition is a major threat to your freedom. And they would argue that it's unfair to say that individuals should not be allowed to enjoy the fruits of their talents and abilities. Now, this isn't to say that we should not provide a safety net for those who are plagued by misfortune. Indeed, we should. And, if we look around in nature, nature itself doesn't provide a state of equality, and any attempt to artificially produce a state of equality threatens our liberty. If you are to use force to achieve equality, you're going to destroy freedom. And equality of opportunity would argue, lastly, that human nature suggests that even force introduced for good purposes will end up in the hands of people who'll use it to promote their own self-interest. Okay, now you have both sides of the argument. Move on to the discussion, and I want to hear what you think.